You've been clickbaited. There's just a little bit more time than 1 week as of this video going live. If you're seeing it even later than that, I am so sorry. Flashbang warning, but we're going to be bringing up the timeline a little bit throughout this video. You should have this bookmarked, by the way. It's really good for staying up to date with everything that's going on. We are looking at down here, September 3rd at up here, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is when the next season starts and this season ends. So right now, I am recording this in the time frame on August 22nd. So between August 20th and the 27th here, this is where we are at. The Hot Mix and the Primal Stink Bow are not in the event shop yet for the recording of this video. Both of them are pretty good pickups, but they're not extremely essential in my opinion. I've got videos on everything. I'm probably going to load up the description with all the things that I can. So if you want information on everything available, I will do that now. Now let's, before we get into what's available and what you should pick up before the season ends, let's do a little remembrance, a little memorial for those things we have missed. So some things leave early and it kind of sucks. Epic does it this way. Okay, I thought zooming in would help. I am so sorry. I got a 1440p monitor and now I was already zoomed in. Okay, we're just gonna work with that. So Dennis is already gone. He left July 23rd. Things in italics leave early. Let's see here. Zelia Clark is gone now. Wait, hang on. Yeah, I thought so. Can you get her through the birthday llamas? Because we actually have sci-fi llamas available on the day that I'm recording this, and I might have been mistaken in telling people that you could get her from the llamas, because I thought you could. I'm pretty sure. It doesn't matter. She was available in the Beyond the Stellar Horizon quest line. She's gone now. Birthday llamas have come and gone. They are out of here. And then, of course, all of the 1 week only stuff. Rex Jonesy, Whiteout Fiona, if you missed him, I'm sorry. Dessa Blaster, I'm sorry. Parasaur Jess, she's gone. Thunder Thora is not so bad. Ankylo Kyle, some tickets. Staccato Shoutout. Yeah, it'll be all right. It'll be all right. But yeah, these things have already come and gone. That's why I recommend the timeline, because I can come in here at the last, few days of the season and give you guys a little wrap up. But usually by then, some stuff has already passed. Now, what is still available, we can talk about, and let's get into that now. The first section will be quest line stuff. So okay, I'm getting texted. All right, we're just laughing about the new South Park episode. It's not family. We're going to move on. So, in Hit the Road, if you have not done so yet, I have left this quest incomplete because I have Fossil Southie, and I wanted to show this off at some point, and here we go. He is one of I think he is, the best energy generation hero in the entire game. Critical for farming, really good for a lot of different loadouts. You want Fossil Southie. He's really, really good. You just need to run Hit the Road like 1.7-ish times. Just do Hit the Road twice, and you'll pick him up, which is great because at least for the second to last week, you can get a bunch of golden tickets. This is not going to be here for the very last week, but, Fossil Southie, great pickup. The next thing I want to mention in order of importance is Paleo Luna. So, Tales of Beyond questline is right here. I think it's much better to show from this perspective over here. You can see her in the splash art there. That is a very, very good hero. She adds damage on top of your melee attacks for every swing. So, the faster you swing, the more damage she does. Really good hero. I've talked about Paleo Luna a million times. Almost every single time melees come up, she's in the conversation. S-tier hero for sure. You do not want to miss out on Paleo Luna. The other ones I want to mention are, I don't know the exact name. I think it's Outlandish Odysseys. So the two that I want to mention are Mayhem and Madcap. So she draws a line between you and your Shock Tower. Again, links down below to everything I'm talking about here. And I know we got the Cook Unity ad over there, but if you want 50% off ready-made meals delivered straight to your door, never frozen, link down below, 50% off. And free cookies for life, not bad. But Madcap, game-changing hero. He makes that Teddy Spore spawn when you attack stuff with your Teddy. That affliction damage is a lot. Scales to the end game. Very, very good. If you're running Teddy builds, he should be at least in support or in the lead. Pretty good pickup. Those two, Mayhem and Madcap, are two relatively new heroes that came out last year, but they are great. Super fun to play with, and I love to see it. Now, a little less exciting, but still worth doing because quests just kind of happen. I guess they're not showing on this screen, so we have to go the boring way, but Raptor Wrangler. This one leads to, again, this is why the timeline is good. Smarter Me from long ago wrote this out, but Raptor Wrangler gives you Prickly Patroller and the Primal Shotgun. So she makes it so that when enemies attack you, they take damage in recoil. And the Primal Shotgun's pretty good, pretty fun. They are fairly mediocre, but worth doing. I mean, the quest is right there. It's not too hard to go tame a couple raptors and some other stuff. And the other thing I believe I wanted to mention last were those two. There's a lot going on, but I think we just about covered everything. So as for events, in my opinion, when you're just doing ventures or playing normal missions, you should be able to just do these as you go, and there's no reason to skip out. I wouldn't worry about Hunt the Titan. This is here just kind of permanently now. So yeah. And if you're interested in venture stuff at all, I can link my seasonal announcement video for ventures. You should just do adventure. You should just do ventures. I don't normally include that in this conversation because it's a whole season worth of stuff, but ventures rewards are always pretty great. But there are no seasonal heroes or weapons locked behind them, so it's not too big of a deal. We're going to talk about the Rad Llamas last, but let's do the event shop. So I'm going to name just a few things that you definitely need to pick up. If you are short on gold and you can only grab a few things, I would start with Dennis Jr. Not because Axe Eliminations activating Rock and Riff is that great, but it's not shown here, is it? Is it really not shown here? Okay, well, he gives you the team perk Totally Rockin' Out. You have probably heard of this perk in like every video ever. Almost every time I make a video, Totally Rockin' Out is featured or discussed at some point. It is the highest damage boosting team perk in the game. Makes you a little flimsy. I've been pretty favorited towards Blast in the Past for a lot of years, but nowadays, I don't know. I don't really care. I love going glass cannonballs to the wall. It's nuts. It makes your crit rating a ton, and Rock and Riff itself increases your damage and melee attack speed, pairs really well. Even with Paleo Luna, even in a full Blast in the Past build, we're still using Rock and Riff heroes and support. So that has nothing to do with the team perk there, but yeah, Dennis Jr., huge pickup. You absolutely want him. And if you're boosting your crit rating by a ton, you might as well boost your crit damage by a ton. Sledgehammer is my second recommended hero if you have limited gold. ARs and SMGs are some of the best weapon classes in the game, and he makes them even better. So great pickup. Not very complicated. He makes you crit harder. It's just not that complicated. Another one that is very boring, but extremely important, Prehistoric Iza. She makes you super tanky. In fact, even when you don't have Blast in the Past, a lot of times, if you're running a melee build or just getting shot by ranged enemies, you probably don't have a shield that often anyway. So Prehistoric Iza is great. That 33 armor makes you very, very tanky. I recommend her in just about every Blast in the Past build, with very few exceptions, and even in normal loadouts, she comes into play. I think I was using her in support in a recent melee build. So yeah, she's just so boring, so great, makes you stay alive. The next one I want to mention is Archaeologist. A little boring. She just makes your anti-material charge cheaper, but if you're using Fossil Southie, as mentioned, and Clip, and you got the whole farming build going, she will be essential to farming with anti-material charge, which you should be doing. You can farm with your pickaxe, but I recommend punching, and she makes that just more cost-effective. Excellent cornerstone farming hero. Never ever in the support, or I'm sorry, never in the commander slot, always in support. Never put her in the lead. Fossil Southie's better in the lead, Clip is better in the lead, and if you have neither, which you should have Fossil Southie, they come from the same season, then maybe you can put her in the lead, but she should always be in support. We've done the math and we've done the testing. She is inferior mathematically. It's about 20% less production with her in the commander slot. I know it looks like you can punch a whole bunch before you run out of energy, but when you do run out of energy, she stops being worth it at all. And the last thing I want to mention is maybe a bit of recency bias, but the Ancient Launcher. It's super fun. It's super cool, and it's super weird. Again, links down below, but this weapon is new. It's cool. We've been checking it out, and as of release, it's not doing the normal-ish damage it should be doing. It's ability damage for some reason, which is why Zelia Clark was so fresh in my brain. So she's a commander in a loadout I showed for this. It'll be linked down below. But yeah, Ancient Launcher, go ahead and pick it up. I always forget hero loadout, by the way. If you get everything else mentioned in this video, definitely pick up hero loadouts. They are super, super nice, and I think there's a cap to how many hero loadouts you can have, and we're going to hit it soon. I think 20 is the max, but quality of life is all that is. You do not require hero loadouts to play the game at all, which is why I recommend doing it last. Now, just because I didn't want to confuse myself, I only wanted to set aside those 5 items, those, 1 weapon, 4 heroes, just as like critical, pick these up, do not miss them. Now we're just going to go to the top down because almost everything in here is worth picking up. Redline Ramirez makes snipers do more damage. That includes bows. She should be in support. Almost never in the lead. Almost never in the lead. But if you use bows, which most of you probably do, she should be in the build somewhere. Surround Pound. It is my #1 recommended weapon for the Storm King's Horn if you don't have the Storm King's Fury. It's not mathematically the highest damage. Technically it's the Baron, but you got to run double crit damage, and the crit chance is so low that it's very inconsistent, but on average it's 3% more. I wouldn't feel good if I didn't tell you that. But Surround Pound's a lot more consistent, and it's 97% as strong. So go ahead and pick it up. Run the Storm King. Jurassic Ken. Very niche. Doesn't come into play very often because, Blast in the Past is usually not what you're using for abilities. It's Happy Holidays. But he makes abilities do 20% more. Every once in a while that comes up, and you'll be very glad you have him. Patriot Penny, super great collection book filler. I recommend saving at least one copy of every hero, but she doesn't come into play ever. Star Stripes Jonesy, one of my favorite heroes in the entire game. He is technically, functionally, a mag-size hero. So because you are, having a 24% chance to refund ammo, it means it's not leaving your magazine, which means you can fire the same bullet again. And that does work on itself. So you get almost a 32% increase to your mag size, and you're saving ammo. It's great. It's very, very functional, and that works on top of your mag size perk. So if you have 100 rounds in a weapon, he'll make it 132. If you have 175 rounds in a weapon, Light Show Spitfire, which is the base game mag size increasing hero, these are the two that are competing. Let me see if I can pull them up quick enough while I'm talking here. 30% on top of 100 is 130. If you have a mag size perk, you'll go from 175 to 205, because he ignores the mag size perk. He only increases mag size by your base mag size and not anything to do with your perk. Salt ammo recovery happens after you fired the bullet. So you go from those 175 with the mag size perk all the way up to like 230 or something. I did the math forever ago. But yeah, it's just way, way better as a mag size perk. Only works on AOs and SMGs, but if you got Sledgehammer, he's a very good support perk. It's either him or Chaos Agent, in my opinion. In fact, I'll put my money where my mouth is and show you. Oh, I have so many builds. Go, 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 go. I have him in my support. Oh no, I was running pistols. Damn it. I thought I'd be able to showcase using him, but why do I have two Beetlejuice builds? Uh-oh, I did something dumb. Normally, I should have different builds here. All right, well, I broke my own rules. I made a whole video on my default hero loadouts, and I apparently am not following my own routine. Star Spangled Headhunter is awesome in my opinion. She is the commander for a build that I've shown on the channel many years ago. It's been like 5 years. The video is still good, but I should probably just cover it again just cause. When you pop a war cry, you have a huge chance to not consume ammo. With her, an 8-bit demo, and some rocket launchers, you can more than triple your mag size and just shoot, 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 shoot forever without consuming rocket ammo. It's awesome. She's very fun, very great to have. Old Glory AC sometimes comes into play in Teddy builds. He's not essential, but he is the last 10% needed to get an infinite Teddy in some cases. Nice hero to have. If you run Teddy, you want Old Glory AC at some point. Triceratops is so bad. She's so bad. I hate her so. I can't. It's so little healing, but it's better than nothing. You probably saw it in my melee build, just a couple of times where you kind of have to use her because there's just no. Okay, it didn't click her. It's just nothing better, but she's there. All right, she's there. If you want her, you should have Triceratops, but whatever. Armory slots are nice to have. Buy them if you need them. Vindertech Blaster and Jackal are base game weapons. Do not buy these under any circumstances. These are available in regular missions constantly. You too, Shirk and Master Sarah. I don't know why they would bait newbies. If you're brand new to the game, you might buy the Jackal thinking it must be tight. It is not. It is like a D tier weapon. It's not. Anyway, Legendary Survivor, only buy that if you are flush with gold. Primal weapons. They are all weapons in the game. That's not clickbait. I'm not impressed with any of them, to be completely honest, but you should at least pick up a copy. Thankfully, they're being sold as purple, so they're a lot cheaper than normal, but definitely pick them up. They're new, they're interesting. They're a year old, but they might get grabbed, and it's a disservice to mention Eternal Wanderer last, but she is so great. Pure utility. You won't do any more damage with her, but that double sprint stamina, you might not think it matters. I did not when she first came out, but slowly over time, she has become one of my most used heroes. And yeah, how did I have this set up? Was it Beetlejuice and then like shotgun and ARs? I think that's what it was. Either way, Eternal Wanderer makes it in my support builds a lot. I use her all the time because that extra sprint is so good just for running around the map. Big fan, love that hero. All right. Woo! We covered the event stuff. We covered the quests. Let's at least talk about the rad llamas a little bit just so we can cover what's in here. I'm going to start with the weapons because I think they are more interesting. The boombox weapons in general are pretty damn good. The Beat Blaster is a piercing AR. It's pretty strong. The Staccato Shadow is basically the AR, but better. I think it does more damage and has slightly less range, but it's a shotgun. And shotguns have a tendency to be pretty good. So great pickup. The Surround Pound is in this section, but I believe it's only purchasable through the shop. Dessa Blaster is gone already, so let's just not talk about that. Ear Splitter is a fantastic melee. I've been using this one a lot recently. Mic Drops, less exciting, but still good. Hot Mix is something that I already said is coming to the event shop. Pick it up if you want when it comes in around for gold. It'll be there for the last week of the season. And then the Woofer, it's like the Sci-Fi Pulsar 9000 weapon, but it's a little cheaper and different. It's like slightly less damage, slightly less range, but it can be, I believe, any element. I can't show this one, but yeah, it's a fun weapon. It's decent. It's strong. It's a solid solid set. Then in the Rad Heroes section, these are like essential pickups. Dennis Jr. is fantastic and everything, but if you want to actually use the team perk, you need to activate it somehow, so you need at least one other hero. So Breakbeat Wildcat is the hero I showed earlier in my melee support build that didn't even use the team perk. She's fantastic. She works in almost any build ever because she boosts ranged weapons of all types and melees as well. So great hero in general. Varsity Hero, very similar. He's contingent on a 7% football drop after an elimination, so on average he's a lot less common to activate, but you know, the football's on the ground, activate right away. It's very nice. I throw him in support, and in Paleoluna builds I have been known to use Hero and Wildcat both, just for that redundancy. It's not optimal in the math, you know, if you do the math you might not support that, but in the real world I really like to have both. Main Stage Quinn gives you sub wafers. You can just activate the team perk whenever you want, but you got to do a little bit of setup by farming metal. Not usually too bad, but it's there. And Power Pop Penny comes up the least. Heavy attacks for melees are tough. We're not usually spamming heavy attacks, and if you are spamming heavy attacks, you're probably getting some kills, which means Hero would have been dropping footballs already, and Wildcat would have been getting you kills anyway. So if you have a really specific build, Power Pop is nice to have from the llamas, but by no means is it essential. And then don't forget, whenever you're running axes, Dennis Jr. is fantastic. So the Clax comes to mind. I use that one a lot myself. That's a good pickup. So yeah, I think that is everything that is leaving soon. So there you go. Enjoy the rest of the season. We'll see you guys for the next one, and that's it. I'm out of here. Just talked about Fortnite for so long. Flushing all the information out of my brain is always fun. So hopefully this was helpful. Hopefully it helped you not forget anything. And, you know, Cook Unity again. Link down below to get 50% off your order. Free cookies for life. I assume you eat. So, you know, check it out. I'd appreciate it. Helps me get more sponsors, and I honestly think it's a good service. They sent me some food, and it is really good. I ate them all, and they were delicious. That's it. I'm out of here. End of season coming up. Enjoy it.